So what is ultimately the deciding factor for you to become a rapper? Because you started rapping at 16, right?
Yeah, when I was 16, I started rapping. So like 96, 95, 96, 97 maybe. Yeah, no, 96, I think. I think that would be 96, 97. So I was so bad in school that I was like just an F student. I just couldn't pay attention. I hated school. I was such a bad student. My like academically just suffered so badly that they gave me in high school 3 different study halls, like classes where I was just supposed to sit down and do homework and catch up on work. They just they took my schedule, my academic schedule, and they set it up so I had 3 different hours of the day, which would serve as study hall for me to catch up with the entire year of missing homework and assignments that I never did. And I remember sitting down in the cafeteria where they would have these study hall classes, being bored out of my mind. And I had a notebook, and one day I wrote a rap, and I sat down and I was like, this is kind of, and I actually felt like this is actually kind of fun. Like I always liked drawing. I always liked being creative, painting, stuff like that. And the first time I think I ever felt like engaged in a school building was when I sat down with a blank piece of paper and I wrote a rap. And I was like, shit, like that, this is kind of tight. And I remember like I would pass my notebook to like friends and they would read it and be like, yeah, cool, that's dope. Or they would try to write something back and we would do little battles and stuff like that. But ultimately, that ended up being a thing where I memorized some of these raps, and we would be at parties, like house parties in high school, and I would try to like rap my raps. And I think that I got a little bit of props from some of the kids being like, fuck yeah, like you can spit. And then that actually made me be like, maybe I should try this. Like maybe I should try to do this. And then I ended up learning how to freestyle, and the big thing for me was like, we would go to house parties and everybody would tell me to rap. And then I had a friend named Tremaine who's in prison for murder right now. And he was a much better freestyler than I was. And they would always tell us, Mac, Tremaine, kick some freestyles. That like we'd be at the house parties and all the girls would be there. They'd have a keg of beer, whatever it is. We'd be getting fucked up, smoking weed, and we would start rapping and freestyling. I was terrible. But it made me start getting this idea in my head that like, this might be something I can do. So I just started like writing raps and freestyling off the top of my head. And people would, there'd be kids like, hey, I heard what's his name, who's a senior, he can rap, battle him. And then everybody would pull us into the lunchroom, like, yo, you two got to battle, and we would battle and I'd kill him. Or I took some fucking L's, man. Like there was a couple house parties I'll never forget. There's this dude named Germ, something, either Germ or Jeremy or Jeremiah. This kid Jeremiah. And we went to a house party, and everybody was telling us to freestyle. And I was high as fuck trying to freestyle with this Jeremiah kid from another school. And I started stumbling, fucking up my raps. And he cut me off, and everybody went, oh, he started rapping over top of me. Like he rapped for a while. I tried to rap a little bit, and then I was stumbling, and he came in over top of me, and everybody fucking went crazy at the party. Like he dissed the shit out of me. And I had depression about it for about 2 months afterwards. Like I'll never forget being like, damn, I got fucking played in front of everybody. That was brutal. And in hindsight, some of the fucking like bad freestyle performances that I had at like parties and shit like that is actually why I really wanted to like lock myself in the basement and formulate my freestyle skills and learn how to really rap. Like there was a couple years where I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm not doing anything. I'm not going out and partying with my friends. It's Friday night. I'm staying home. I'm turning a beat on and I'm gonna write some bars and I'm gonna try to develop a skill set because I want to be at these house parties. I want to show up in front of girls and actually be able to rap and be the best person in the room. And that like taking some of those early L's is actually what inspired me to like kind of pursue this on a local level, which is where it kind of started for me.
You know, some people watching this right now, they living out their high school touchdowns and stuff right now. They're gonna like, I remember I beat Mac Lethal back in the day in a battle,
Amen.
man.
Amen. It happens, bro. You take L's, bro. Like it is what it is. It's good for you, bro. It's good. It's good for you to. Yeah, it's good for you, man.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
You ended up dropping out of high school, right?
I did. Senior year of high school. I actually had one semester left, and I just didn't. It wasn't like, oh, this is pointless. Oh, I don't want to go. I knew I had other plans. So for me, it was really like I had the idea what I wanted to do as a career. As a senior in high school, I'm like, I'm going to try to become a rapper. I'm going to really go after it. I'm going to see if I can't get some sort of traction with like trying to figure out how to do this. And it was like, I made the conscious decision, like, yo, like try to figure out a way to get your name out there. Try to figure out a way to like learn how to record music and see if you can find someone that knows how to make beats. You know, this is the 90s. So it's like, it wasn't easy then, but it was like school didn't matter at that point because I used so much of my time at school writing raps and like thinking about hip hop and like writing out my like plans for, oh, this will be my first album, like titling songs and just, it's all I did, bro. I lived in my notebook and I was just barring out like every night. When I should have been doing homework before I had to go to school, like I would sit in a chair every night in my living room till 2, 3 in the morning. I'd just be writing, dude, just fucking blazing through notebook paper writing. So I dropped out because I was like, I'm not going to need this, at least right now. I can come and get my GED later, but like, this is a joke and this isn't something that I have any sort of interest in. I couldn't keep a job. I hated school. So I was like, dude, fuck it. Like, I'm going to go after it. I'm going to try to become a rapper from Kansas somehow.
Do you regret that? Like dropping out?
No, because if I wouldn't have followed the exact path, like I don't regret anything that happened because it ultimately worked out really well for me. And so if I would have stayed in school and followed that path, it maybe would have been enough of an excuse to not pursue rap. I gave myself no choice. I gave myself no plan B. I was like, fuck it.
Right.
Go out there, fucking learn how to be a rapper. And there's like, as they say, burn the boats, like no turning back. So no, I don't regret it.
With your parents having a background in folk music, what was it about hip hop that spoke to you so much that you wanted to pursue that type of music versus learning to play an instrument and singing or something along those lines?
I never really liked the way folk music sounded. I never liked it. Wasn't edgy enough. It didn't have that driving force that rap beats have. I like the repetitive nature of hip hop beats. And then the other thing that I really liked about hip hop was I'm very much, and it's interesting now because I was such a bad student in school, but I'm very much a reader and I'm very much somebody that loves the written word and following long prose and reading and learning. Those are like my favorite things to do. And the one thing that you can do in a hip hop song that is so difficult to do in any other song is deliver a lot of information in a short period of time. So one of my favorite parts about rap is like, it's like you're listening to somebody teach you a lesson. It's like, I love the aggressive sound. I love the repetitive nature of the loops and the beats, the fashion, the aesthetic, everything that hip hop represents. But I think my favorite thing about it was, nah, like, I don't want to hear somebody sing and say, you know, one word where they're like, oh, mom, you know, like love, whatever, like where they sing words. I would rather hear somebody speak and teach me something or deliver a message. And I just felt like rap sounded so much cooler than singing did. I always thought that. Like, I love conventional music and everything, but like, I want to hear somebody that's like really spitting bars, like lyrics. So that was the thing that I liked more, is like listening to KRS-One rap. I was like, that sounds so much cooler than listening to Bob Dylan sing or listening to the Carpenters or any of that folk shit that my parents were into. I would rather, I want to hear somebody that's like really talking, like talking shit, like saying something. It just sounds cool to me, man. Like, to me, it sounded way, way cooler.